Okay, here we go. Time to install this lock. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these two screws off here, and that's going to start the process of removing this lock. And then once I get it removed, I'm going to start the process of installing a new Lockly Secure Pro lock. Work this off the paint. This was probably installed back in 2002 time frame when this house was built. So it looks like it's got some paint building around it. In order for me to get some movement. There we go. Okay. These two inner locks here. Try to remember how this came off so I can put it back on if need be. It's got these two screws that were horizontal from each other. And there you go. Inside part of it. So let's see if I can work the outside part of it. Piece off now. Remembering how it came off. That takes the lock off, just two screws. Now, hopefully I won't need to take this out. I probably might well even take that out. Because the lock probably comes with a different deadbolt. So, let's open the box up and take a look. So let's see what's in the box. I already broke the seal. So when you first get this thing, you need to make sure that the seal is intact. If it's not, take it back to the store because it has security features on the lock. And each lock is unique. It tells you that when you on the seal here. So let's see. A lot we promise. Over years we have earned a reputation for unparalleled customer service and support. At Lockly, we stand behind our products and promise. If you're not at all satisfied with your Lockheed, please contact us at help@lockheed.com so that we can make things right. Your friends at Lockheed headquarters, California. So, let's see what we got in here. Let's see. We got a user manual, download and installation. User manual located at lockheed.com/pages installation. It's a nice handsome box. It has a lot of good stuff on it when you first open it up. A lot of good information inside here. For a quick and easy assembly, find 3D instructions for this product in Built. Download the free app at the App Store or Google Play. Scan for Built 3D instructions. So when you open that up, and you got the little start guide here. Start here, quick start guide. You got the installation manual. And then you got the how to use the Pin Genie keypad. This is a door hanger. I don't know why would you need a door hanger. But I guess this is to help your customers out if you want a hotel or something. And then the flip part of the lock serial number with an activation code. I don't want anybody to see that. That might be specific to my lock. Don't lose the activation card. Treat it like your driver's license. That's the only thing you'll have to identify ownership of your lock. Please store this card in the same place as this is required to set up your lock being secure. The activation code will be required. If you lose your smart lock phone or access code, without this code, you will not be able to reset your lock. If you are missing the card, please contact us immediately. The activation code and the serial number. And then security redefined. Lockheed has created an easy-to-use smart lock solution that is beautifully, meticulously designed, featuring the highest level of security available. We're proud to be one of the most secure and advanced smart locks on the planet. So, go further. Nice, again, a nice handsome box, well designed, open together. The box comes out of it here. It's got foam on the bottom of it. It's got foam to help keep the lock secure and comfortable. And then it's got another box here. And then we've got the lock. This appears to be the lock itself. Cable connected here, and just a new lock with a cover on it. Screen cover to take off later. And then we've got the other part of the lock. Get it out of here. Well secure in there. Got the lock plate. The inside part of the lock. Back here you can see all the guts on the lock. And here we got it. There you got it. There's the lock. Lock plate. Boxes. Listen to these boxes. Box. keys, screws, all the different hardware we got in this box. In this box, let's see what we got in this box. This box we got a charging cable, charging transformer, and it's like this is the pickup that you get for your door. So you tell when the door's open or closed. All right, again, here we go. That's all of it right there in the box. All right. It says make sure the deadbolt is extended before installation. So, let's see how we can do this. So it says make sure the deadbolt is extended for installation. So all you got to do is put the screwdriver in here and turn it a half a turn, or a quarter turn, and then it's extended. And, that's it. Make sure it fits. Doesn't fit my room. Cut them off. Break this thing. fit in my door, I had to turn this, which makes it shorter. And now it fits. Pretty slick of them. So this part needs to go towards the top. Okay. I want you to make sure that this hole is centered in the hole, in the bore of the door. So this hole should be centered in the door. And then once you get that in there, you get it correctly adjusted. And you go ahead and insert the screws. I'm using the screws that came with the door. I mean with the lock. They're a little bit longer than the screws that came out of the door. For security reasons, I will use the parts they provided. Here. That noise you hear is the automatic torque. I have this set on the lowest torque possible, number 2. So, I just installed the lock, and I installed the screws that came with it right here. It's the first part of the installation. And then we torque it down. When I installed the screws, I torqued it down using a number 2 torque setting on this wireless portable drill, cordless drill. Okay, after you install the deadbolt, they want you to install the external portion of the lock, and they show you here. They want you to make sure that this piece is in a vertical position before you install it, and that you guide the cable under the deadbolt and remove this tape for stability of the lock, I guess, after it's installed. They do provide an option for another piece to be installed here, like a stem. They talk about that in the instructions for stabilization. But in order to do that, you'd have to drill another hole in the door using their template, the template that was provided. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try just using the tape to install it. But first, I'm going to clean the door to ensure the tape sticks. I'm just going to use some simple dish soap to clean around here. Soap and water. And make sure it's dry before I install the lock. And I'm going to dry it with a other paper towel. Pretty dry now. So now I'm going to remove the tape from the lock. First I'm going to pre-position it to make sure everything works out before I remove the tape. Looks like it's going to work out pretty good. It's going to install like that. So I was to guide it up underneath there like so. Guide on the bottom that has to be guided in. Once you get that installed, make sure it's level, and take the tape off and finish the job. Let's see what holds that on this side. Pretty simple. So now I'm going to pull it out. Take the tape off. Tape is removed. I'm going to add it back in so it's straight in the center. Push the bottom in first. Then push the top in. That's holding pretty good. Move the whole roll with that tape. Outside part of it. Next I'll be demonstrating the inside portion. Okay, now it's time to install the interior mount plate. So here is the mount plate. And it's got some adhesive on the other side that needs to be taken off. And here are the screws. Notice how the screws come in a nice little bag. They're all marked by their letter that they want you to use them. So we're going to use the G screws here to mount this plate to the door, to the lock. Pull them screws out. Make sure everything's lined up first. They want you to pre-start the screws by hand before forcing them in with a screwdriver to ensure that they're not cross-threaded. Excuse me. I'm going to start the screws in here by hand to get them started. Yeah. Boy, cold. Make sure that they screw in by hand. Make sure they're not cross-threaded. They're not cross-threaded. I like to screw in by hand. This one here goes in a little bit further in. There it goes. This one here. Make sure it's not cross-threaded. Make sure that the screws are in right front, secure with the tape. The one thing I forgot to do was to clean the door first. So let's clean the door real quick before securing the adhesive tape. Alright, now I'm going to dry it. Nothing else now in the cold. Yeah, the screws are going in pretty easy. Right. So I want to make sure now that it's lined. Okay, so now we're going to secure the interior lock plate to the door. Here's the lock plate. They'll go in here. They want you to secure it with the two G screws that come in the pack. That's already marked as such. And they want you to pull that cable in to the bottom through this little loop here. And so that's what we're going to do. Take this cable, I'm going to shove it in through here. I'm going to push it through the little slot here to get it down to the bottom. And we'll push it over, making sure that I don't get the cable pinched in any way. And I cleaned the door already to make sure that the adhesive sticks. There's adhesive on the back here to secure this plate as well. So there you go. Make sure that the lock stem comes from the bottom here. And when it start the screws by hand, we want you to install the screws by hand to make sure that they're not cross-threaded first before you use a tool on them. You know, stop here to keep this door from moving as much as possible. And the screws are going in pretty easy by hand now. So I'm pretty confident that they're not cross-threaded. And I'm going to remove the tape from the top of the door plate here. And push it firmly to make sure it's secure. First, I'm going to make sure that it's vertically aligned. Pull it out a little bit. like I did the other side. Take the tape off. Down here, I'm going to align it by eye. Alright, hopefully I won't have to take it back off. I'm going to go ahead and tighten these screws. Tighten one a little bit first, and tighten this one, go back and forth till they're both tight. Again, I've got this set to a torque of 2, the lowest torque. I gotta have one over torquing things. I don't want to over torque this. I don't have a torque wrench, I'm not gonna try to use a torque wrench for something this simple. Looks pretty vertically aligned to me. You can use an aligning ruler, the level, to check if you want, but that looks pretty good to me. And that takes care of the plate. Push this in, make sure it's in there. Really, really, really good. Again, we use the adhesive in place of the bolt they want us to use, in which we'd have to drill another hole. Now, if this adhesive doesn't hold the way I want to, then later on I'll take it back off and drill a hole and put it back on there for a more secure fit. Okay, preparing for the interior portion of the lock to be installed. They want you to ensure that the cable for the sensor, for the door open and close sensor, is on the right side of the lock. As you can see here, it comes on the side of the lock that's configured for a right swing door. Because I have a left swing door, I have to move this cable from this side to that side. And so all they want to do is move this foam here, and I'm going to take it and I'm going to push it up underneath this little portion right here, this little black piece here, and then I'm going to push the foam, secure it here on this side with my thumb. And there you go. That's all we need to do to prepare the lock. They do point out that the external portion of the lock where the cable is coming out will plug into this plug right here, with the red portion to the bottom, the red on the male portion to the red on the female portion at the bottom there. So that's pretty much it, just to prepare the lock. And again, this is the sensor that's going to censor whether the door is open or closed, and send a signal to your phone. One thing they don't tell you to do is to take this top black cover off with the Phillips screw that you see on the bottom of here before you install the interior portion of the lock. It was pretty easy to take off. All I had to do was loosen this screw. It didn't come out all the way, and then I took my thumb and just pushed this portion up to get it started, and then I grabbed it and pulled it up a little ways. You can take it off if you want, but there is the screw holes that you will need to secure the interior portion to the mount plate. right there. And then here is access to the programming instructions and the batteries. And program buttons and reset buttons are inside here. After you take the cover off, there's programming buttons, instructions inside, and the program button and a reset button, as well as where the batteries go, the battery compartment, and warning over here on the left side, and tells you how to install the batteries here on the right side. There's a barcode on top. That's probably secret. You want to make sure you don't expose that to anybody who would be around you for security reasons. They also want you to ensure that the lock lever is in a vertical position before you install it, so that it aligns with the key lever on the external portion of the lock. There we go. Now it's time to install the interior portion of the lock. As a side note, I noticed that in the diagram, the letters for the screws in the diagram and the instructions are different than what is actually tagged on the bag that they come in. So H would be I and G would be F. G on the bag, I on the bag. So without further ado, time to install the interior portion of the lock. So we're going to now line up our cables. The bottom red with the bottom red here, and then the tab should be facing the outside. It's key to going only one way, but you want to be careful with this so you don't mess up anything. And when you take it apart, you want to press the tab before you take it apart. It's critical for the operation of the unit. And there you go. Snap in place pretty easy. So now that that's done, the simple procedure is to just go ahead and get this aligned. And get the screws started. Make sure it fits securely before you put the screws in. And get the screws started. You're getting a screwdriver. That's one started. The other one started. See that? And the screw started. Screw it in here. There's a little slot over here to the left for the cable. Make sure the cable for this thing, this pickup, goes in there correctly in the slot. And the other thing that I'm not going to do, I'm not going to tighten this up all the way. I want to make sure that my sensor has a good snug fit, because you have to remove the adhesive and glue it and secure it to the door. And plus you have to cut the adhesive if it's too long. So it's kind of secure right now, but not too tight. And I can see my adhesive is too long. The instructions do tell you to cut this as needed. They really want you to cut it before you install it. But I have enough room here to cut it here, so that's what I'm going to do. Get my handy dandy scissors. Being careful not to cut the cable itself. I'm going to cut this portion off here. Make sure my cable is not there. There we go. That's pretty easy. Now I'm going to clean that portion. And I'm going to secure it to the door. Before I secure it to the door, though, I'm going to again double check my alignment from the other side of the door. Push this cable in there, push it in there. Can't get that cable in there. Probably not a bad idea to take the door back over. Take this external portion back off. See if you can't get out of better. Because you don't want the cable to push this out. You want any pressure on this. You don't want any pressure on this. Any pressure on this portion right here. You see the cable is pushing it out, so we don't want any pressure on that. It doesn't look like it wants to go in the way I want it to be. The way I want it to. So I'm going to take it off and adjust it the way I want it to be. So it's nice and secure without pressure. When I take the adhesive off. Push my little rubber foam up as far as I can get it. And then I'm going to try to get this to be a certain way. Try to put this back on. Screws back in. It's a little bit better now. All right. Probably not a bad idea to test the latch. Test the lock at this point to make sure it works. Yep, it does. It's still a little loose because I don't have it secure yet. Until I get this thing positioned the way I want it to be. So I'm going to close this up. And I'm going to prepared to install the other side of the sensor here. So, let's see. The other portion of the sensor. Over here somewhere. Here it is. Portion of the sensor goes on here. Now they encourage you to raise this up, add some adhesive underneath there if you need to align the other half, align this up with the other half of the sensor. If you want to do a custom job, I guess you can cut this. Okay, so there's my current installation. I decided to take a chip out of the door there using a wood chisel to make sure that the pickup, the sensor, was level and directly across from each other. That is this sensor here and this sensor here was directly across from each other. So I did that, and now it's just a matter of pushing it in here and removing the adhesive. I used this wood chisel. First I chiseled the bottom, then I chiseled the top, then I chiseled the side on down, then I went to the side and I chiseled it in, and then I leveled it out. So now I'm going to put this guy in here. Now if it doesn't hold with adhesive, then I'll probably just go to using some wood glue or something. I'm only going to do this side right now. I'm not going to secure this side yet because I want to make sure that I want to be ready for any minor adjustments I have to make, because you can put more adhesive underneath this portion to pick it up, to move it out a little bit in case it needs to be moved out a little bit. Hopefully I won't have to do that, but that's what I did. Okay, now it's time to fire it up. According to the instructions, you're supposed to install 3 batteries and then hold down the program button while you install the 4th battery and hear a beep from Lockley. Once you hear that beep from Lockley, let go of the button and it'll initiate its self-checks. So we're going to go ahead and do that real quick. Let's see, okay. So I'm going to flip this portion up. And it also gives you those instructions here too, in case you forget. So let's take this off, the instructions, and I'm going to install the batteries one at a time. There's one battery. There's 2 batteries. Battery number 3. I'm going to hold down the program button and install the 4th battery. There we go. Here's my beep. Don't sound right to me. Okay, it stopped. Now, they say in order to do a self-check, run your hand across the external port of the door, and you should. It should lock.
For bundling made easy, go to Yahoo.com.
Along with your donations, McDonald's has helped Ronald McDonald House Charities keep families together for more than 40 years.
Let's see.
For bundling made easy, go to Yahoo.com.
Students of color typically do not have access to high-quality computer science education. I joined Amazon because I wanted to change education, and I am impatient. Amazon gives me the resources to change the world at a pace that I want to change it. We provide students with scholarships and teachers support. I'm a fighter, and I'm fighting for all students.
Los Angeles Lakers are NBA champions. From NBAStore.com, the official locker room collection, the t-shirt, hat, and more. Shop now and in today's special offer. NBAStore.com, a Fanatics experience.
Okay, so now it's time to do the self-check. All right, so now it's time to fire this baby up and do a self-check. I recommend keeping the door open, so if there's any issues with the lock being activated, the deadbolt going into the door jamb, any misalignment or anything, it won't affect the self-check. So they recommend installing 3 batteries and then installing a 4th one while holding down the program button, and then it goes to a self-check. Also at this point I have not completely adhered the door pickup, open door pickup, the little white open door pickup to the door yet, as I want to ensure that it is properly functioning before I make it permanent. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and install the battery, hold down the program key, and watch it go through its self-checks. I'm going to hold down the program key and install the last battery. And I guess that's it. So the self-check went through. Notice the deadbolt is extended. That's because this lock automatically locks itself after a period of time. So I'm going to unlock it and test it out, make sure there's no binding in the door or anything like that. See, there's no binding in the door. The lock freely unlocks and locks. And at this point they recommend installing the cover, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to slide the cover back on. Push it down and tighten this top screw. Making sure I don't cross thread it. 2-finger tight is good. There you go. And now it's time to program the lock link. They recommend that you stand at the door with your cell phone. First you got to download the app. Stand at the door with the cell phone and go through the process. And you'll need your access card to do it. So now I've retrieved my access card and downloaded the app on my phone, and I've registered and set myself up, started to set myself as a new admin. And I'm at the get started screen. I don't know if you can see that. So I'm going to stand at the door here and configure the app, configure the lock. So they want you to stand near the door, press the get started button, give it permission to take pictures and record video. So it looks like it wants to scan the barcode. So it looks like I tried to scan the QR code. I don't know what that's about, so let me just go ahead and put the serial number in here. I don't know what QR code is looking for. They don't cover that too well in the installation guide. So I'm just going to put the serial number in here. Okay, it said connecting. Now it wants the initial code, which is on the card. Talking to the lock. Now it wants to set an admin code. It wants to use a 6 to 8 digit code. Let's see. That wants me to enter the code in the keypad below. I hit next, and it comes up with a screen like what's on the front of the lock. Of the code and the device acknowledging the code and embedding it in itself. I recommend that you hold on to these codes, write them down someplace in a safe place so you don't forget them. And then it comes up with the product registration, with my address, my email, all that good stuff I'm putting here. And then I'm going to click next. It automatically pre-filled my serial number, date of purchase. Want to know where I purchased it, and fill that information out. And now it wants me to configure the Wi-Fi. So now I plugged in my secure link. There it is over there in the plug right here. Right now it's flashing yellow. And I'm up to the point now where it says, yes, I've done it. So let's see. Click on yes, I've done it. System permission. Allow. Wants me to put my Wi-Fi password in. Put my Wi-Fi password in. I'm going to click next step. It says connecting. Add secure link. Once connected to Wi-Fi, the secure link will restart in about 15 seconds. Right now it's flashing red. When the green light becomes solid, press the button below to continue. Oh, now it's solid. And I'm going to press yes, it becomes solid, green light. Scanning lock. Please check the Bluetooth signal. There are two big plates that are near to the locks. Make sure no obstacle between them. Next step. Connecting secure link. Successfully connected. Follow the steps to pair your sensor. Yes, I have installed it. They talk about the sensor here. So let's see if this works, or will I have to adjust it? Connecting. They want us to stand between the Wi-Fi and the lock, but now we're doing the secure sensor. Wi-Fi, Bluetooth can switch to each other. That means, okay. You hear it beeping. Right now it gives me status of the lock. It says closed, locked. So I added the door sensors. Looks like it's done. Let's see what I get on my smartphone when I open it up. Door is unlocked. Now it locked it. Very good. Now it's unlocking. Very good. I should be able to open it. I'm not getting the sensor response. Batteries are showing 100% on this app. Unlocked by mobile, it's got a log in it. Access code, you haven't had any users yet. It locks automatically. You set the water lock timer too. That's good. Bluetooth audio is on. Touch screen locking is on. Time zone is set to the right time zone. Don't look like the Bluetooth this pickup is working, so let's see what happens. I see why. I got the pickup backwards. buy some liquid nails or something that doesn't come out more in the future. Reset the secure link. Okay, so the secure link isn't working. I'm going to go through the reset process. The application shows you how to reset it. So it says reset Wi-Fi, press the button. Secure link for 2 seconds until the light flashes quickly. And the app is searching for the Wi-Fi link. So it found it. Now I'm going to select it, enter the Wi-Fi password again. It says it's connecting. Add secure link. Just waiting for the green light to become solid. Over here. long. So it must have an outlet here. Let's see, reset the Wi-Fi password. That's what it says. No, reset. Wait a minute. It's flashing red now. Oh, now it's solid green. Here we go. Now, yes, it becomes solid green. I'll press that. Now it's scanning lock. Please check the Bluetooth signal to replace the hub near the locks. Make sure no obstacle between them. Pretty close now. I don't know how close you can get. Connecting lock. And there you go, the Lockley installation is complete. Now, only thing left is to remove the label there. And I will be going out to get some liquid nails or something to make the sensor mount a more permanent mount. Because it's a little bit loose here. So, you can tell once I do this, take this off. Lockley, after a while, it will sense that the lock is unlocked and it will lock itself automatically. And I noticed on my phone, it also sends me a message on my phone. Send me another message saying that it's locked. Nice that. Very important to note that the hub that comes with the lock needs to be close, 10 feet, they say, between the door, between Lockley and the hub. Now it's kind of like this direction here, so there might be a little interference here, in which case I may have to move it over to across the way here. There's a plug across the way here. It's got to be within 10 feet, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. It's just at 10 feet, so that may work. But I have to unplug something else in order to put it there. But it seems to be working as advertised. It shows right now that it's locked. In order to unlock it, you press this button. It unlocks it. It says the door is unlocked. And I should also get a text message. Maybe not with the unlock. Manual unlock may not send a text message. But after a while it will lock itself automatically. I think it's set to, let's see. Yeah, it locked itself. Auto lock timer right now is set to 30 seconds. Try 10 seconds. So go back to the app. Data synchronizer. It shows the time and date. Closed, locked. I'm going to unlock it. Open it. It should pick it up that it's open here soon. It's a little slow that way. It has a little sensor in it. It goes a click and then it sends a message. But this one's taking a little while. Taking too long to tell me that the door's open. I'm not sure I like that. So I may have to move the Wi-Fi up. So that's not a problem. Still hasn't picked it up that it's open yet. It's not good. It's a long time. Locked it. It was unlocked. Closed, unlocked, it says. Now it picks it up. Maybe it needs to be open a little further. It's possible you need to open it a little further. Let's see what happens. Closed it, it locked. I'm going to put the auto lock timer back to 30 seconds because, put it back to a minute because I could see somebody because I can see somebody coming in and out of the door and the thing tries to lock and then it causes a problem. Tried to set the timer to 1 minute, it didn't like it. Lock timer set back to 30 seconds. It recommended that. It didn't like that I wanted to set it to 1 minute. Well, I finally finished with my Lockley Secure Flow lock installation. It runs pretty good. I had to adjust the door jamb, replace some old seals that were within the door. These seals were really old. And these seals were old. Back it off a little bit. Yeah, these seals were really old, so I wasn't getting a good. I was getting too tight of the seal here, where the lock wouldn't go in smoothly. So I had to take the old seals off. Put the right seals in here, right door seals, and I got them from Lowe's. And they're cinch seals. They're made to plug right into the slot that's in the door stop there. And once I got all that done, I did this side, I did that side. I took this off also, the lock bolt, metal piece here, I took that off. And I had to clean this out with my chisel a little bit so I could get that lock going smoothly. I used a wood chisel. And then I secured this with a little bit of, it was still a little floppy, so I secured it with a little bit of super glue. And I put a little seal around here and paint this to make it look like a nice custom finish. And let me go ahead and demonstrate how the lock works. You close the door, and it locks within 30 seconds. Actually, that locked right away because it's been open for a while. So once you close it, it locks right away after it's been open for a while. And it sends a message to my phone that the door is now closed and locked. And so it sends messages to your phone when it's locked and when it's unlocked. I also had to, it uses Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. So I guess it uses the Bluetooth when you're close within Bluetooth range. And right now it's using Bluetooth to pick up that the phone, that the door is locked. And it dinged, and then it refreshed itself on my app. You can also select Wi-Fi, and in order to get the Wi-Fi to work real well, I had to actually move my extender around. My Wi-Fi extender is down there on the floor. Actually not on the floor, but in the, right here is my Wi-Fi extender. It's within less than 10 feet from the door. However, the Wi-Fi hub that they give you has to be less than 10 feet from the door. I had to experiment with that. So the Wi-Fi hub is there, across from the door. And I sort of have a triangle effect here between the Lockley, the Wi-Fi extender, and the hub. And that seems to be working well right now. When I had the hub over here, it didn't work that well because there must be some either interference or this thing needs the hub to be kind of in front of it a little bit. I even tried moving it over there, over there to the right, where it was a little bit more of an angle to the door, than a 180-degree angle, and that didn't work out too well. So I experimented with it a little bit. I ran an extension cord and I moved it directly in front of the door and put it on the floor, and that worked real well. So it needs to be, it says within 10 feet, and right now it's just under 10 feet from the door, and it seems to be working all right. So I'll be experimenting with that more over the next few days. But right now it works the way it's supposed to. I was able to program a fingerprint and some codes. I've tested out the fingerprint, and I haven't tested out the codes yet, but I'll be doing that soon. Anyway, it's a good Lockly installation. So far so good, and I'll get back to you guys if it gets any better or any worse.